What is up, my peeps? Joshua Smith here with another GSD Mode podcast interview. First off, thank you so much for tuning in, for checking out the show. Your support is massively appreciated. The only reason that this show exists is because of all of your amazing support. So we truly appreciate your support. I truly appreciate your support. Make sure that you're sharing the show with as many people that you feel would benefit from the show. The goal is to always grow this show and go out there and have a big impact. Real quick though, before we jump into today's podcast, I want to plug our sponsors that make all of this possible. Our first sponsor is my personal 90-day mastery bootcamp. This is my real estate agent mentorship training program. It's a group training platform. This way it makes it extremely affordable for you. Inside this program, however, I am unpacking my entire playbook. I'm walking you through step by step everything that I do inside my real estate business, everything that I've done, everything I've learned in my 12+ year career with selling over 5,000 homes, with selling over $1 billion in real estate. And I walk you through step by step exactly what I've done, how I built what I've built, and what I'm doing today to go out there and create the success. But don't mistake the low cost for low value. This is an insanely in-depth, step-by-step program where I'm walking you through, again, step-by-step on how I go out there. My team sells 1 to 2 homes every single day in today's market, continue to grow my business year after year, and how I've been able to exit from selling, exit from actually day-to-day involvement in my real estate team, and create an epic, amazing real estate team that not only sustains but grows without my involvement. So whatever level that you're at, whether you're a brand new real estate agent, you're an individual high-producing agent that wants to expand and create a team, or if you already have an amazing team, or you're a broker owner that's looking to step up your internal training, looking to step up your systems, your processes, your tracking, make your business more predictable, this program is absolutely for anybody that's serious about leveling up inside their business. So check us out, www.90daymastery.com. Make sure you use promo code LIVEMASTERY, all one word, all together, all caps. That's going to get you the biggest discount on 90daymastery.com. You're going to see tons of testimonials on their video testimonials, what's included in the program, the future dates of the program. I do several of these every single year, so make sure to check us out and make sure to jump inside that program ASAP. My next sponsor that makes this show possible is perfectstormnow.com. If you're a real estate agent and you are looking for a lead generation machine website backed by an insanely powerful CRM system that allows you to convert your leads to appointments at the highest possible level, manage all your tasks, make sure that you're effective and efficient as you possibly can be inside your business, transaction management component, all of that stuff. It is hands down by far the most effective and affordable real estate website and CRM program that exists out there in the industry. It's what I use to go out there and sell 650 plus homes every single year, and the system is gnarly. If you're signing up for that program, make sure to use promo code MASTERY, PSN, all caps, all one word, all together. That'll save you the $200 registration fee and get you a great discount. Our last sponsor is REO University. So I teamed up with a good buddy of mine who is the most knowledgeable dude, hands down, that I've ever met when it comes to REO properties. This guy used to work for the banks directly as an asset manager, and he developed so many of the systems that you see that asset managers and asset management firms and banks use today. This guy sold over 11,000 properties, foreclosure properties, as an asset manager. And he and I teamed up with my experience of working with over 35 banks in my career, selling thousands of REOs, plus his experience. We've created just an insane program. Again, REO University, the website is www.REO University. It's a one-time payment for $997, or you can split that up into 3 monthly payments. This is not a live boot camp like my 90-Day Mastery Bootcamp. This is something that you have access to instantaneously. We walk you through exactly how to go out there and get in with the banks. So how to get the business, but then how to service that business at the highest level, how to go out there and complete BPOs, how to complete cash for keys, how to make sure that you're insane at your valuations, how to go out there and make sure that your asset managers are winning and hitting their goals, key indicators you need to look for, and more. There's 22 in-depth, just amazing, powerful modules that will teach you how to become an REO machine inside your real estate business. Now, if you're like me, I don't want my business to ever be in a vulnerable position, right? I don't care if it's a good market, bad market. It doesn't mean that my business needs to be good or bad. My business can always be great. During a market crash, right? There's no such thing as if the market's going to crash. It's just a matter of when, right? But again, you don't need to put yourself in a vulnerable position. You can make sure that your real estate business is 100% recession proof, and go out there and, of course, generate business, do a ton of business regardless of what's happening in the marketplace. And this is exactly how you go out there and do it. And we walk you through step by step. So check us out, REOMasteryUniversity.com. You can learn more about the program, hopefully register for the program, jump on in. This price will not last long, right? We just created this product, rolled it out several months ago, and just getting in the hands of the consumer, and people are having a lot of amazing success. So again, check us out, REOMasteryUniversity.com. All right, again, you guys, thank you so much for watching this show. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure to share the show. Make sure to comment. Like us on YouTube. Leave some positive comments. We love hearing back from you guys, and love getting your feedback. Keep kicking ass, and let's jump on into today's interview. What is up, my peeps? Joshua Smith here with another GSD Mode interview. Every single week, we interview top real estate agents, top entrepreneurs, and strip top badasses that they're dominating their space. These are people choosing to not live a life of mediocrity, but instead to go out there and create big, amazing, epic lives for themselves, their families, as well as have a big impact on others. So today, guys, special guest on the show, a guy that is a great friend of mine, also does a lot of work for me, which we'll talk about as we jump into the interview here. But this is a dude, man, that, a couple of years ago was in a really tough spot, decided to level up in his life massively, do a 180, change every aspect of his life, and now is just kicking massive ass. So really stoked and honored to have Brett Ratkowski on the show, my friend.
What's going on? I appreciate you having me. It's an honor. It's been a long time coming. Put in a lot of hard work to get here. So
yeah,
by far when I started with you and started following you, this was a goal of mine. So I get to check this off the list now.
Yep. Love it, dude. That's awesome, man. Yeah. And we've had a lot of boot camp members that have come on that have had big success. What's unique about yours is it's one of these cases where, the mentor becomes the mentee sometimes, right? Which is always super cool, right? I mean, you took, a lot of the things that I taught you, but then you just took it to the next level. You went and got laser focused, you've mastered them, and now you've, surpassed my knowledge base on it. And now you're teaching and coaching and training and actually running a lot of my stuff. So anyway, dude, before we get into all that, man, and what we're talking about here, dude, just so you guys know, is we're talking about Facebook ads. So Brett is the man when it comes to running Facebook ads for real estate leads and for agents and really anything Facebook. So, but before we jump into that, dude, let's kind of let's give the audience just be a brief background on your story, man, because it's a cool story, right? Of how you went out there and created success. So, what led you into real estate, and how did you go out there and create the success that you've created?
So, what led me into real estate was in 2005. I actually took my real estate license course on Florida. And at that time, the course didn't expire. So, I just watching the market back then, I was like, what? I don't want to be a server the rest of my life. I had a degree, whatever, just wasn't happy doing that. So I thought, real estate was something I love homes. I love architecture. Maybe it'd be something that I wanted to do. 2005, obviously it turned around in Florida pretty quick in 2006, right when I was about to actually go and take my test. So I decided not to. Everyone was like, oh, the market's falling apart. So whatever. So I waited till the end of 2012 to get licensed. So 2013, went part-time, still serving at a restaurant. And I said, I was part-time for 2 years. And I said, you know what? It's either all or nothing, right? I either quit this part-time job, which was like a full-time job because I was working almost 45, 50 hours a week serving, working 10, 12 hours a day. So I said, you know what, it's time for me to quit, go all in. You did a video the other day, fully committing. It was perfect with back then, like, it was something like that. So fully committed, went in full time. Man, did I get my ass kicked. I went so 2 years part-time, only sold one home. Then the first 6 months, I didn't sell anything full-time. And then all of a sudden, it was like one deal here, one deal there. And I had enough money coming in that I could cover my bills, and put food on the table, but nothing where if I wanted to go on vacation, or if my parents needed some money or something happened, I couldn't provide for anybody except for what I was doing. So hit rock bottom it's been almost 22 months ago now. So I think April of 2016 is when I started taking your boot camp. So at that time, I was behind on all my bills. I was on a team at the time where they just started the team, and I literally had $505 in the bank account. The team leader at that time was the one that introduced me to you and your free, open house webinars and free Facebook group post webinars and stuff like that. So he put me in front of you, and it was like a month later, which was in April when we started. He's like, listen, I just bought the program. Here's $500. I'm allowed to bring you in as being on my team. I said, all right. So I gave him literally the last $500 I had in my bank account. And about a month into the program, things started clicking. I'm like, all right, you know what? This is it. Like, I see the tunnel, and then I wake up one day and my car's gone. It wasn't stolen. I know what happened. It was repossessed, right? They came and took I was 4 months behind on my car payment, right? So woke up, and it wasn't even me that saw the car gone. It was my now fiance at the time. At the time, we were just dating. We weren't even like official, whatever. So having her go out there and see that, it was really rock bottom. I was going from her house to my sister's house, sleeping on, obviously when I was with her, sleeping in her bed, but my sister's, I was sleeping on the couch, and just living out of a suitcase for 4 months. So being at that rock bottom and feeling that, falling into a deep depression, because I have anxiety and depression, whatever. I'm not afraid to say it. I'm much better now, right? Now that I have my life dialed in, it's a little easier to manage. But going into that deep depression and feeling the shame that I felt when my now fiance walked out and said, Brett, where's your car? And not being able to tell her what happened, lying to her and saying, hey, my car got stolen. It must have been stolen. I eventually obviously fessed up to her, and told her what happened. But I did not want to feel that again. That, like, everyone has to have a why and a turning point, and when they decide to actually make a change. And for me, that was my deciding factor. I was like, I can never feel like this again. I've never felt like that. I've always had money in the bank. I've always been, done pretty well. But at that moment, it was like, I just have to do it. So I got very focused. Luckily, she had a car, so I was able to borrow her car, go do showings. I had some deals in the pipeline. They just hadn't closed yet. So, turned into a couple deals. So I went from, putting everything onto a credit card to then, closing a couple deals here and there. And then all of a sudden, the Facebook ad just started rolling in, and diving deep into those, and, doing the open houses. Like you said, I was doing those religiously, twice a week. I was doing them during the week on a Wednesday and every Saturday, just week after week, just busting them out, and just grew it from there. But yeah, it was not a fun ride by no means.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's crazy though. Cause I know that you did a testimonial video inside the group, and it was, went from being on your sister's couch, $5 in the bank. And then, then once you fully committed, you hit that low point, you decided to turn things around. It was something like $200,000 that you did in the next 17 months. In
210, just under. Well, now it's 22 months. I've done about 220 in GCI in the last 22 months.
Yeah,
from $5 in the bank account.
Yeah, no, it's cool, man. And what's dope, dude, is those that are watching, listen. I mean, you're You're not, you're an individual agent out there doing that, and those are just huge numbers, dude. So, all right, so you're doing the open houses. And I think most that are watching, listening, know open houses and grasp that. So we don't need to go deep into that. But let's segue into the Facebook ads. Like, what did you start doing? And then let's then segue into what you're doing now that's killing it.
Yeah. So even before obviously getting into your bootcamp, I had been doing ads since day one. It was just getting into your bootcamp and seeing different things. I'm like, all right, there's so many different ways that you can run these different ads. And I was just like everyone else, just throw an ad out there to everybody. But for me, once I realized that Facebook ads is online marketing and you have to treat it as such, right? So I broke it down to my best friend and my business partner now is an online marketer and has been for years and years now. So, and he's worked for some of the top, online marketing companies out there. So, he was telling me, listen, you have to create a customer avatar. You need to know who you're speaking to. You need to know your audience. And, me, I was just throwing ads out there and just, let's just do everyone in Fort Lauderdale or everyone in Pembroke Pines or whatever. And so once I realized and I dialed in who I wanted to speak to and who my clientele that I wanted to work with that's when the leads started. Obviously the cost per lead started diving down even deeper, getting cheaper and cheaper. And then Facebook rolled out Facebook lead ads. And that was a game changer. Once I started running Facebook lead ads, I was running conversion ads, but how Facebook is set up is it really was set up for retail businesses on Facebook. It really wasn't set up for what we want to do, which was create a list. So if you look at Facebook, it has your awareness, your consideration, and your conversion columns when you're running your ads. And how it's set up is conversion. If you're just running straight cold traffic to conversion, you'll get people to become a lead on your site, but it's at a much higher cost per lead. And then you're allowing them to put in whatever information that they want. So once Facebook rolled out the lead ads, all that's populated, all the information is populated from their Facebook profile. And I started getting more and more numbers that I was actually, I was like, I'm going from maybe 1 to 2 contacts a day to 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe, depending on how many leads, 10 a day. Now, again, Facebook is a long-term thing. It's, 6 to 12 months out as a typical Facebook lead. But over time, if you consistently are running them, it's like the waterfall effect. They just start flowing in. So that's really what happened to me. Just really diving deep on who my clientele is, who my customer is, knowing what they're interested in, and writing my ad copy based off of speaking directly to the client versus just saying, here's all homes for sale, right? You got to tell them, get some type of, you want some type of curiosity from them, or you want to touch on some type of fear. Once I dialed that in, they just started, leads just started flowing in continuously at a super low cost per lead.
Yeah, no, I love it, dude. I mean, it all boils down to mastery, right? Dude, like you said, most agents like, oh, dude, I can't have success with Facebook ads because they'll post something lame on their business page and then they just boost it to a broad audience. And I'm like, well, no shit. That's like me going to, just doing any open house, going out and slapping 6 open house signs out there, not having a sign, like not having an intentional process. You got to get extremely intentional. I hear it all day long. Facebook ads don't work. Open houses don't work. I'm like, dude, I did 651 home sales in 2017, and that's all I did. So you can say that all day long, but maybe your strategy just fucking sucks is what it kind of comes down to, right, is getting that right strategy. So you committed and got this dialed in, which we'll go deep on here in a moment. But let me ask you this. As far as your business today, man, what percentage of your business is from Facebook ads today?
90%.
Okay. Yeah. Outside of like repeat referral business, it's the only thing that you're spending money at, right?
Yes. That's all. I only spend, I don't do any direct mailing. No, I don't do none of that. I've never paid for a Zillow lead, never paid for, I did try realtor.com because my last broker was like, listen, and he paid for it up front. I just paid for it at closing. They were shit for me. Again, people work them and they do work. And if you have an ROI, that's great. But for me, they just never worked. And so that's the only marketing that I spend is on Facebook.
Yep. And me too, right? I mean, we do a lot of open houses. Of course, you have open house signs and stuff, but my only actual hard cost on an open house, once we have the equipment, is the Facebook ads that we run to promote them. Right? So the only physical marketing dollar I put into anything in my business is Facebook, which now I have. You talked about your business partner, and just those that are watching and listening, that's not Brett's business partner's real estate business. So Brett now has his real estate business that he's the sole owner of, that he's the agent in. But then he also created a separate business where they have now an ad agency where they run Facebook ads for the real estate agency. He actually runs and manages all my real estate business Facebook ads for me. And then he's also got a program that teaches you these strategies, which we'll talk about later too. So let's kind of break down what it takes to be, create a successful ad when it comes to Facebook. Because, when I look at this, anybody that's not having success with Facebook, right? It really breaks down to a few different things, right? I mean, of course, you got the ad copy. You got to have a great photo. Like you said, you got to make sure you're targeting the right audience, going to what's popular in that area. Then from there, you've got to, of course, drive them to the website with what they're expecting to go out there and see, whether it's a conversion ad or lead ad. Because conversion ads, you're right. You definitely get a better result with lead ads or conversion ads. We're over $1 better per result per lead, than we were able to see on conversion ads. But either way, right? You got to make the driving website. Then, of course, you got to have a great follow-up protocol. And if you nail all those things, you're going to have big success with it. So, let's first start breaking down, just for those that may not know, dude, just kind of give us a brief overview on what is the difference between a conversion ad and a lead ad.
So conversion ad is driving traffic to your website that Facebook thinks, so Facebook puts their ad in front of people who they think are going to, one, click on that link or the call to action on your ad, go to your website and become a conversion, which in our case, in our business, is a lead. In retail, it could be, a sale. So that is conversion, driving traffic to your website that is going to become a lead on your website. Facebook lead ads are very similar in the type of ad that you're running. But the difference is Facebook's putting your ad in front of people that they think are going to submit what's called a Facebook lead form. So the Facebook lead form is, instead of driving them directly to your website, Facebook, when they click the learn more or download button or whatever they're clicking, the call to action, it drives them to the Facebook lead form. Facebook asks them certain questions that is auto-populated from their Facebook profile. So the lead never has to even type in their name, phone number, email. It's all auto-populated. Now they can change it, but so it goes to the lead form. Then once they submit that lead form, then you drive them with a view website button to your website. So by the time they already get to your website, they're a lead no matter what they do on your website. You've already captured their information. So those are the main two differences, is instead of driving it to your website to generate the lead, Facebook's generating the lead for you and then sending them to your website.
Yep. And when you're creating the ads, it's almost identical. When you're creating, you pick up the audience the same way. There seem to be two main differences, right? On a conversion ad, like at the very top on page number 1, you're identifying the pixel. On the lead ad, it's towards the bottom of page number 2. Outside of that, it's the registration page and the thank you page. Everything else seems to be identical. And what's crazy about it, and I guess it's not crazy if you think about it, but you can have the same opt-in information registration form on your website on a conversion ad, but you're just not going to get the same results. Is the same information that Facebook's asking for. And this is just my theory, but I think people just have so much trust in Facebook. We give Facebook our lives. So it's like when Facebook asks for, okay, we already given them everything. They know everything. They, of course, auto-populate what they already have. Compared to if my website's asking for it, they're like, dude, I don't know what you're going to do with this information. You're a stranger. So even though it's the same information, or it can't be the same information, it's just like a human psychology thing that people are, whether it's subconscious or conscious, but the reality is, dude, the results are just better.
Yeah. And that your theory is my theory. I tell everyone the same thing. Like it's people trust Facebook so much. And not only that, you will get some leads that like, I didn't even submit something. It's because they subconsciously are so used to, hey, sign in with Facebook to go here, or sign in with Facebook for this app. So they are just subconsciously just clicking away. But in the end, they had some sort of interest, whether they remembers hitting the submit button or sending you their information or not. They showed an interest in what you're offering. So you may not close them now, but in 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years, 10 years, who knows? They're in your database now. So for me, that's huge. But yeah, the theory is the same. For me, it's they trust Facebook for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Love it, dude. So then, all right. So if we're going to, let's just go into lead ads, because that's obviously what's working right now.
Yep.
If we were to break this down when it comes to creating a successful ad, because the cool thing about you is you're not just doing this in your real estate business. Now you're building them out in Florida. You're also building them out for me. Right now, Brett, just so you guys know, I pay a Brett's company, or Brett personally, to go out there, run mine. And my budget right now is $9,000 a month here in Phoenix, Arizona. So you're running, lots of ads for me in Phoenix, Arizona, in other parts of the country. So you're able to see the commonalities of what a successful ad looks like. So, kind of break that down, dude, what are the main steps that people really need to take away from this podcast to go out there and be able to create a successful ad?
So the first thing is obviously so we're talking about Facebook lead ad. So the objective is obviously the Facebook lead ad, but is the audience is the biggest part. I'd probably say 50% of the success is the audience you're targeting. So depending on the market, because every market's a little bit different, but in most markets, you are going to target either a city or a zip code, for example, but a city. Most of my ads are city-based. So I'm running it to a city, the current city, and then in the detailed targeting, I'm narrowing down real estate-related interests. A lot of people like to put behaviors or demographics in there. Everything needs to be an interest, because interest, if you look at the definition of each interest that you're searching, it tells you exactly what it is. This person is interested in Zillow. This person's interested in realtor.com, buying a home, pre-qualification lending. They're interested in mortgage loans. So I dialed down and dive deep into real estate related interests. Then I'm obviously excluding realtors, right? So real estate as a behavior, I'm excluding. And then you want to see, once you've dialed those down, you want to see what your potential reach is. If you're in a smaller market and you're doing the current city only, and your potential reach is only 10,000 people, well, we need to up that reach. All right. So the one thing you could do is do a radius search, right? Start with 10 miles out, see what your potential reach. I've seen that the sweet spot is anywhere between 50 and 100,000, 50,000 to 100,000 potential reach. That way it's not too broad, but not too narrow. In some markets, if it's not 50,000, you can't even get it up to 50,000. You just do a lower daily budget. That's all it comes down to. But as long as the interests are dialed in, and you have a decent potential reach, which is the amount of people that your ad could be placed in front of over time, that's one of the main things. Obviously, the next after the audience is the ad itself, which is the creative. So when you're in the ad portion, it's the creative, the ad copy, the picture. Picture is probably 30% of the next, some people say it's, 60, 70% of that, which it's a huge part, because if you have a shitty picture, then it doesn't drive any interest. So the picture and then the ad copy, I would say, is probably the last, because that's what it's then they're going to see the picture first. Then they're going to see your ad, oh, this is a nice picture. What are they talking about? Then it's the ad copy in the end. Touching on your customer avatars, which is your potential client, their pain points. If it's a renter, hey, are you tired of paying your landlord's mortgage? Right, asking them that question. If it's a family that is outgrown their home, hey, you'd say something like, home getting too small. Have you outgrown your home? Check out all the homes for sale in Phoenix, Arizona that are 2,500 plus square feet, 3 bedrooms, whatever, and under the median price point. The final part is obviously knowing the pricing in your market. Even with you, Josh, obviously we've seen an influx in up and down in lead costs. It's because we're testing things out. because we don't want the audience to stay stale. But in the end, it's always been the median price point. Under the median price point has always what I've seen in most markets generate the lowest cost per lead, because that is where majority of your buyers in your market are at, is at that median price point.
Yeah.
So those are the main things: the audience that you're targeting, then obviously the picture and the ad copy, and then the search is the last thing. That's what you're driving them to.
Yep. So and you know, those that are watching, listening, you know, when Brett's giving percentages, I mean, you know, think of this like as a three-legged stool. You remove one leg, you're not going to have success. You know, like if you look at the picture, like just imagine you're the consumer scrolling through your Facebook page. The picture's what gets their attention, gets them to stop and pay attention. So the picture is absolutely critical, right? Then the ad copy exists to create curiosity, to get them to take an action. So then that becomes extremely critical, you know, right? Then they take the action, then get your website. And then like Brett said, I mean, things got to be congruent. You know, I was looking at an ad today, and the guy, it was like for bargain. It was like, you know, the ad, and it was a good ad, good picture, good ad copy. It was something like, you know, the real estate is you know, market in XYZ area is hot. However, there's still some cool bargains, you know, right? Search here for affordable homes under this price. But so the picture was great, the ad was great, but when I clicked on his link, the first page on his website, how it was filtered, the first property I saw was a $1.7 million property. I'm like, dude, you know, you got to filter from lowest to highest price point. They should be seeing 125,000 or whatever. So, so let's break down, you know, just like what you're doing for me, you know, like I'm running in Phoenix Metro, the cities that I'm working, you know, Surprise, Peoria, Gilbert, Chandler, Mesa, Tempe, you know, so when we're looking, because you talked about like the medium price point. So let's just say we're running one to, you know, Gilbert, Arizona. You know, what do you do with the medium price point? Or if somebody's in, I don't know, freaking, you know, Fort Worth, Texas, like what do you mean by the medium price point? What would be like a sample of a search and an ad copy that you give for something like that?
Yep. So what I'm going to do is, the first thing is, well, obviously we're going to see what city you're running in. So you just said Gilbert. So obviously I have my sheet here because I run a lot of ads for you. So Gilbert in December had a median sales price of $299,950. Okay. So what I'm going to do is go into my MLS, look up. Most of them have a stats tab where you can pull up all the stats on a given month, given time frame, a year, the last 5 years, whatever. I just look at the last month's sales. So what I'm doing is going to pull up in the stats tab, go to Gilbert. I'm pulling up all the closed sales in the last month, which obviously December, and it gives you the median price point. So like I said, in Gilbert, it's $299,950. So that I know is the price that I'm going to put into my ad. And then my ad would be, you know, in Gilbert, the pool homes are huge there. And I've tried homes lists in your area, and I've tried pool home. It doesn't matter the time of year. They're always going to be the best. They're just, you know, your market, and they kill it. So you've helped me with that. But, so what I'm going to do is now in the ad copy, I'm going to say, wow, check out these amazing homes in Gilbert. Check out all these amazing homes with pools for sale under $299,950 in Gilbert, Arizona. Click learn more for more information, right? That's been my best ad copy in your market. And then they click to learn more. So your call to action obviously is a click learn more button. It's the click learn more. The attention is the check out these amazing pool homes under a certain price point, and the medium price point where majority of your buyers are in your market. So that it goes the same. It doesn't matter where it's at. You know, if it's Fort Worth, I have someone out there that I've helped run some ads in Dallas Fort Worth area, and his was what was his? His was a school zone, worked very well, and then he also did one that was homes over an acre, right? So you just need to know what is selling in your market, what the hottest type of property, whether it's bedrooms and bathrooms, whether it's with a pool, whether it's with land, know your market in and out, and then place the ad in front of all those people that are interested in real estate, and you'll get, you know, your leads will definitely just kill it. Single property sites work as well too, but you want to use those single property sites if advertise single properties as long as they're at that median price point. If they're at 600, 700, 800,000, your median price point's 300, the ad ain't going to do very well. So keep that in mind as well. But yeah, with the median price point, just go into your MLS, bust out I just use the last 30 days, not the last month. And I just keep every month, I just update it to whatever it is. If it's dropped, it's dropped. If it's gone up, we adjust the ad.
Yep. Love it, dude. And I mean, you hit the nail on the head with, you've got to know what's popular in your area. I always tell agents, it's like, what's the listing that you're doing freaking cartwheels over? Because you're going to get a dozen multiple offers in the next 24 hours. It's not we'd all love the unicorn $30 million listing, but that's not where the masses are going, right? We want to be where the masses are, and that's what tends to convert the best with these. If somebody's like, dude, how do I know what's popular in my area? What kind of, because I get that question quite a bit. What kind of recommendations do you give there?
So you can, same thing with that same stats tab. You can go in there and see what percentage of homes with 4 bedrooms sold, what percentage of homes with pools sold, what percentage of homes over an acre sold. You can break down that stats tab in there to then really know, especially if you're a newer agent, and you really don't know the market all that well. The data's there. The data's in the MLS. They keep track of everything. So I would just play with the stats tab, know where the majority, if you see, say 1,000 homes sold last month and 500 of them were 4 bedrooms or higher, well then boom, there you go. That's the majority. That's a very popular type of property. If it's an acre and you have 30% of the homes sold in Fort Lauderdale, Florida have an acre or more, boom, there we go. Obviously those don't exist here, but just knowing your market and playing inside the MLS with the stats tab, and again, just dialing it in there. And then ask around, people in your office, hey, if you had to say this type of home for a listing would be the best, what would it be in your majority of the people are going to say the same thing. Oh, this type of home at this price point. Yeah. Right. So again, all the stats are in your MLS. So that's where I started when I knew nothing about my market.
Yeah. And then I always tell agents, like, interview other agents in your office.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, like what are the main home features that seem the vast majority of your buyers are wanting? Or when you list a property, like what are the main subdivisions, neighborhood price points that things are just selling hot in? Just go out there and do your due diligence. So a couple questions for you, dude. Like in my business, I have found, I don't run any seller ads, right? Zero. Yep. And it sounds funky to people. And I don't, those that are watching, listen, don't get me wrong. I love listings as much as anybody. My team's listing over 20 homes every single week on average. So I love listings, but what I have found is I get more sellers and convert more sellers off of buyer ads than I do sellers off of seller ads. I might get more seller leads, but as far as actual seller clients, I get more. And again, this is my theory on that, but sellers don't wake up in the middle of the night being like, oh my gosh, we're thinking of selling. Let's go see what our home's worth and go find an agent, right? Nope. The first stop is let's go see what's available to purchase first. That's when they get excited about that next move is what then gets them excited about selling. So I know for me, that's what's worked and what I'm having you do. But if you found success, have you found that to be true across the board for yourself, or have you found some success in running seller ads to actually convert seller clients? Not just seller leads. There's a difference between a lead and being able to acquire the client.
No, so I do the same exact thing. And even in my bootcamp, I teach that where it's, everyone asks, I want seller leads. Yeah, but just like you said, sellers start, it might as well be 100% of even buyers start online now, right? Starting a search. So if they own a home, they want to make sure that there's something out there, one, that they can afford, and two, that they like, before they even decide, hey, we're gonna make this move and sell our home. So I've definitely seen that across the board. Selling, you can do sellers campaigns. Now, I've done them for individuals where it's like, even in my own business, I'll take a farm market, for example. So say you're direct mailing to a neighborhood. That's your farm market and you've sold a lot in that neighborhood. I would then run ads to homeowners within a mile radius of that subdivision. You're not necessarily going to generate leads, but it's branding. You're just going to become omnipresent in that market and in that neighborhood. They're going to see your ads on Facebook all the time. They're going to see your direct mailers, your open houses, your door knocking if you're knocking them. But as far as generating leads for people to give you their information online, they've all come through buyer ads for sure.
Yep. Love it, dude. So then, and just, full disclosure, cause you were doing lead ads, before really anybody that I knew was doing lead ads when Facebook released them, at least in the real estate space, right? Cause the issue with lead ads is getting them in integrations like Zapier, to get them to automatically port into your CRM. And lead ads came out and it was like, well, in the beginning, there was no solution to get them dumped into the back end of a CRM. And now we fixed that. So, I was waiting for that to come out, but you months ahead of really anybody else before that integration existed, started experimenting with these, so I really just stole your lead forms, right? Like when it comes to the form where you're opting in, the bullets, how that was set up. So I personally split tested different lead forms, right? I let you be the guinea pig and I just did what you were doing. That worked. How important is the lead form? Have you split tested different, copy with that? And have you found certain things to work better than others, or does it really not matter so much?
As what I've noticed is it doesn't matter exactly what the copy is, as long as it's congruent with the ad that you're placing in front of them. Just like it has to be congruent with the search that you're sending them to after they've created the lead form. As long as everything's congruent and it's all homes in Phoenix, Arizona, or all homes in Gilbert under a certain price point, and that's what the ad is saying, and it's the same. So when you're creating a lead form, you can either have a set picture for every single lead form, or you can have it where it's the image that they saw on the ad. I always make sure that image is the same on the lead form that it is in your ad. So as long as everything's congruent, I've run it where you have the intro and I'm telling them, hey, this is the best home search website, and it's updated every 15 minutes. And then I've also not done the intro and just asked them straight up, click submit below for your free list of homes for sale in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and then ask them for their name. And I've still generated the same amount of leads as long as everything's congruent with what you are offering to them. I've seen not a drastic change where I'm like, hey, this is the best lead form to run than one other.
All right. So then in my business, because that's all I really know at this point, what's working well is just like you said, we'll have, a specific ad we'll run into Gilbert, like you said, a specific one for each city. And, I've got about 12 cities that we really hone in on. Then we retarget all of those with a custom audience, which is more of a broad. It still might be search all pool homes, but it might be for all of the whole entire county. And we're having big success with those retargeting ads. So talk to us about, retargeting ads and just share some knowledge that people might need to know about retargeting ads to create success with them.
Yeah, absolutely. So retargeting is literally taking an audience, putting ads in front of people that have engaged in your posts or your ads in some sort of fashion. So in your business that I'm running for, and in my business and other business, when I'm setting up retargeting campaigns, it's only to people that clicked on my lead form but did not submit. So they were interested in that ad, right? The Gilbert or Chandler, right? They were interested in that ad that I put in front of them, but for some reason they didn't have enough trust in us to then submit their information. So what we're doing is we're building out a sequence on the back end where you have 90 days to retarget these individuals with lead forms. With other, website traffic, it's 180 days. Video views, it's 365. But with lead forms specifically, it's 90 days and then the data's gone, right? Unless they come back again to another lead form. But so 90 days we have it. So I break it down into you're running so many ads that I can break down the audiences into 10-day increments. Some individuals that have lower ad spend, I'm breaking it down into either 15 or 30-day increments. So what's going to happen is they're going to flow through a system, a funnel where it's they've clicked on the cold traffic ad and they said they did not submit the form. Then I'm creating an ad for the first 10 days. They're going to see an ad for 10 days. After the 10 days, they're going to see another ad. And I'm working them through the funnel so they get to know us, like us, and trust us. And I know that's big in your boot camp, and that's why I use that. And I tell everyone, because that's what online marketing is. It's getting people to know you, like you, and trust you so that they will do business with you in the future, or trust you to give you their information. So, but yeah, I break it down in your business specifically. I break it down to I'll run cold traffic to the cities, and then I'll run, hey, here's all the pool homes in Maricopa County. Hey, here's all the open houses this weekend in Maricopa County. Hey, here's all the here's all homes with 3-car garages and stuff like that. I'll break it down into different ads, because they might not be interested in a homes list or a pool home, but then maybe they're interested in a house with a 3-car garage and they don't care about the pool. Or maybe they want a house under a certain price point, or maybe their house that they want is over the median price point. So I'm making the search a little bit more broad on the retargeting, but I set them through a sequence that they continuously see different ads, and we become omnipresent to them. That way they know us, like us, and trust us within that 90-day period. That way we can generate the lead. And it's definitely because it's one or two things that lower the cost per lead. One, they've already seen our ads, so they know us. It's a brand awareness thing. And two, we're running at $2 to $3 a day. So if we generate 2 leads out of $2, we're super cheap. So they're definitely going to be. It's a way to lower your cost per lead on the back end for sure. And for some individuals that I'm running ads for you, you're only worried about the cost per lead and as many, you want as many leads as possible to feed your team. Some individuals want some branding where it's like, hey, here's 3, here's a PDF of this and a PDF of that, and here's a video of my testimonials. And so we'll break it down to 3 ads are just brand awareness ads, giving them some information about them to help that know you, like you, trust you. With you and your business, you've been around there for so long, so people know who Revisto Real Estate Group is. You know what I mean? So it's a little easier to generate leads on the back end, but some individuals can break a retargeting down into just a video of why they should top 10 reasons they should buy now versus in the spring, or list now instead of in the spring. So retargeting is just getting your ad back in front of somebody that engaged in some sort of fashion on your ad, so that you can lower your cost per lead on the back end.
So then if you go into, so people kind of have an idea of how to run that retargeting for the lead ad specific, because I think a lot of people know how to retarget to their website and whatever, but so you go into the Facebook menu button on the business in your business manager, you click audiences, then From there, how do you pull in that specific lead ad that you're running to be able to set that, like you said, with mine for 10 days?
Yep. So you go into, once you click audiences and then create an audience, there's three tabs you have. You have custom audience, you have lookalike audience, and you have saved audience. You're going to click on custom audience, and then you're going to scroll. It's all the way at the bottom. It says engagement. So you're going to click on engagement, and then it pops up another window that has a bunch of different video views, whatever. You're going to click on lead forms, and then it'll pop up a window that says add anybody in this audience, anyone that matches at least one of these, right? So then you're going to select you have to make sure you select the correct page, and then you literally just select each lead form that you want to create an audience for. And then next to that, it says in the past, I think it's auto-populated at 90 days because that's the max. And then what I do is I just break it down into whatever increments, 10, 15, 30 days. And I say in the past 10 days, in the past 20 days. And I create the same lead forms. I select the same lead forms, but I create audiences. Like I said, for your business, it's every 10 days. So the past 10 days, then the past 20 days, then the past 30 days, all the way up to 90. And then when I'm running my ad, that audience will populate. It'll take an hour or so. Once it's populated, then we can create the ad. It's just like creating a normal ad. The only difference is instead of the detailed targeting, all you're doing is selecting custom audience, and to push them through the sequence, the first ad you're going to run is obviously the custom audience to days 1 through 10. All right, the past 10 days. Then you're going to create another ad that is going to that is going to be the past 20 days, but then you're going to exclude the past 10 days so that you're kicking out in that one ad, you're kicking out the last, because it's the full 20 days that it's creating the audience for. So you want the last 10 days to be excluded. So you're literally only going to put the audience in front of 11 to 20 days. And then you just keep doing that, including whatever audience set time frame, and then excluding those time frames that come before that, 30 days or 90 days or whatever it may be. And then the ads are the same. A lot of people like to overthink it, or not, I don't want to say they like to overthink, but they just overthink the whole retargeting process. And the setup is exactly the same, except for you're putting it in front of a custom audience versus a cold traffic audience.
Yep, love it, dude. So, one of the bitches with lead ads is if you don't have an integration to your website, you got to go in. You can still get the leads, but you got to go in. You got to download them. You got to manually import them into your website. And it makes, because we can generate leads all day, but if you don't have an effective follow up process and can't convert these leads, then you're just wasting money.
Yep.
Right? So you and I both use Zapier, and we integrate with Perfect Storm CRM, dumps them automatically in there, so they automatically then get the autoresponder email, autoresponder text.
Yep.
Right? Tags us, to follow up with them in 5 minutes, and then queues all the follow-up protocol, the 1,000-day follow-up protocol from there. Talk to us about what Zapier is. And I know there's others, but Zapier seems to be, the biggest, at least in the real estate space. What that integration is and the importance of it.
Yep. So when I first started running Facebook lead ads, Zapier was there. Zapier integrated with Facebook lead ads, but I was using Perfect Storm at the time, and you guys hadn't come out with the integration with Zapier. And I got so tired of going, like you said, going in there and downloading the list and not being able to follow up in time, where I just searched Zapier. I don't even know how I got to Zapier. Nobody told me about it. Somehow I found Zapier somewhere. I'm like, how do I integrate Facebook lead ads with my CRM? And Zapier came up. My integration with Zapier at first was sending me a text message with the contact information. And then I'd go back later on in the day. I just wanted that information so I can pick up the phone and call them right away. Right. So that was the integration when I first started Facebook lead ads. Obviously now, so Zapier is an integration from Facebook into whatever CRM that you're using that does not connect directly with Facebook lead ads. So again, it's just a third party. Yes, you have to pay for it to connect through Facebook, which I think is about $20 or $25 a month. And then what you do is you connect Facebook lead ads. The action when you're in Zapier is a new lead through Facebook lead forms. And then the task is sending your information. Zapier sends your information over to your CRM. That way it's automatically populated right away. You don't have to worry about going in. Automation is key with this because that helps with the speed to lead versus having, like you said, having to go in there and manually download them and not being able to convert them in time. But again, Zapier is just a third party integration system.
Yeah. And then as far as cost per lead, I know we were averaging like $3.30 average cost per lead before the holidays. Then yep. Holidays are tough. And this is with every ad type, just because you're competing with Target and, everybody else trying to get eyeballs during the holiday season.
Yep.
So, we spiked to mid fours, and then now we're getting back down into the threes. But yep. What price per lead should people expect when they're running this?
So every market is completely different. I've seen in most markets, and it's anywhere from $3 to $6. I have some individuals that I run ads for, and they're at the $9 to $10 because it's their market. It's just so competitive. But again, it depends on your market. If you've never ran Facebook ads at all, the only way to really tell is to run ads. Start running them for a consistent amount of time, say maybe 1 to 2 months. You'll get an idea of what your average cost per lead is for you running them without dialing in if you don't know anything about leads. But again, it's anywhere from $3 to $6 in most markets that I've seen. When this is the tricky part too, because you run a lot more money in Facebook ads than a lot of people do too. So it gets a little, and that's just any type of marketing. It gets a little higher as you spend more money. But yeah, it really depends on the market and each market is a little bit different, but anywhere from $3 to $6 should be a good cost per lead.
Yeah. And now I've found, I don't know if you found this too, but it's just the higher your price point is in your market, the higher cost per lead it seems to be, and vice versa. But it's all relative, right? If I'm selling $250,000 homes, so I might be able to run $3.30 leads. But if I'm selling $2 million homes, obviously it's going to be more, but it all pans out in the end.
Yep.
Right? Because my commission's a hell of a lot more. So my cost per acquisition might be a little bit higher, but that's okay because my commission's a hell of a lot higher. So, all right, dude. So, I know when this journey started for you, this wasn't necessarily the intention, right? You're just trying to solve your own problems and grow your own business. And this is what I love about business, man. You solve your own problems at a high enough level. Other people see what you're doing, and then they're like, hey, dude, I want your help, right? And I know you've now created really two different platforms. You've got a platform where you've created a boot camp style training where you teach agents specific to Facebook on a very high level how to go out there and do these tactics. And then for the dudes like me that are like, all right, dude, I know how to do all this stuff, but I don't have the time, bro. I don't have the time to pay attention to this. I just want you to do it, right? You guys will also take over and run people's ads for them. So talk to us a little bit about both of those. Let's first go into the boot camp. Like, what is it? What do people expect? What's the price? Where's the best place to go and join into it? How often do you do them? All that fun stuff.
Yep. So it's a 6-week boot camp. It's live, very similar to yours. Obviously, we modeled it after yours because it's very successful and it works. So what it is a 6-week boot camp that's live, recorded. We go in depth from week one is going into we start with the basics because not everyone's at the same level. But we go into how to set up your business manager, pixels. Like we literally dive deep on the setup. Then the second week dives deep into the automation, like creating your Zapier account and creating your audiences and different things like that. And then the third week is straight Facebook ads, running Facebook ads and how to dial them in. Week 4 is setting up custom audiences and getting that dialed in so that we can teach you retargeting. We just finished up week 5, which was literally retargeting, and that's all it is, how to set up funnels. And then we've actually changed it up. So we're going to be talking about week 6 is literally ad copy and branding. But we dive 6 weeks of straight up 2 to 3 hours of hardcore implementation of this is what Facebook ads are and this is how you're going to be successful with it. And that is we're live now. It's optimizerealestate.com/home, and it's $797. $797 for the program, which is recorded. You get live access and recorded access. We also have step-by-step implementation videos. If somebody says, I watched the 3-hour webinar, but I don't want to go back and watch the whole webinar, we've broken it down step by step as well. So there's individual videos that you get in the members area. And then it's, if you want ongoing training, it's $50 a month for the Facebook group, that's where we update all the information outside of the webinar, because Facebook is always changing their algorithms. So they're always implementing new things and changing new things. So that's where we teach our clients all the updated information. And then obviously one-on-one, they get access with Victor and I in that boot camp, not in the boot camp, in the Facebook group. So that's what it is. So that's the boot camp.
Yeah, I love it, dude. I mean, because the love and hate with Facebook is Facebook changes so frequently. Every single week you jump in and there's a new change. But that's also the love of it. I mean, it can be a little frustrating because you really got to pay attention. You got to learn all these new things on a constant basis. But the love with it is, Mark Zuckerberg is so adamant at being the best platform on the planet for marketers.
Yep. That
they are making all those changes. And they're the right changes to make. Right. But you do have to stay on top of it. So I love it, dude. Then talk about, for those that are like, dude, I don't even want to screw with learning this stuff, running them. I don't have the time, right. I just want to pay you, Brett, to run mine, right. Well, I mean, what does that look like?
So that is based off of ad spend. So the monthly, it's monthly with a one-time setup fee, but it's based off of the ad spend because the more ad spend you have, the more ads we have to run and the more time it takes for us to run it. But literally it's setting up everything, setting up the funnel, setting up the cold traffic ads, the lead forms, the integrations, setting up everything that you would need to be successful at Facebook ads, and literally managing them. You get a breakdown every day of what your cost per lead is every single day. And that's something that we just rolled out. And obviously you got that Joshua, and you're at your side, but it's breaking down a cost per day. So you can see where you're at every single day, every single month without even having to ask us. We do everything on your Facebook platform. So there's all you do is you can see every single ad that's running at any given time, what ad copy we're using, stuff like that. There's no secrets to it. It's just dialing it down deep. But that's what we do. It's again, it's based off of ad spend. So I can throw some numbers out here, but if you go to optimizerealestate.com/services, it breaks down every single ad spend that we have amount. And then we also have a do it for you. So it's a one-time fee, setup fee, where we'll create a funnel and that's it. And we just set it up for you and let it run. And then you manage it from there. So we have that portion as well for those that don't want the full, monthly service of what that cost entails.
Yeah. And dude, I mean, I think it's critical to go out there and learn this stuff and know this stuff, right? Just so you know it. And I mean, like, I always want to know things enough. So even if I plan on delegating it out, at least then I know who I'm hiring it. I can speak the language enough to know if they're legit.
For sure.
I'll say this, dude. I mean, for the small amount that I invest in your services to go out there and run this stuff and the time that it saves me, right? I mean, because if you were to break it down on a time frame, I mean, how much time do you spend in my account alone?
In your account, because of the ad spend, probably 20 hours a week.
Yeah. Yeah.
20 to 30, depends. You if you're switching Facebook pages, it's a lot more. That's
yeah. We just dropped that ball on Brett. So, but when I do that, I mean, this is one thing that, busy real estate agency to pay attention to is, yeah, it's great to do all this stuff and know all this stuff and know how to do this stuff, but you got to analyze what's the best and highest use of your time. Right. If I'm able to be on the phones and average, $100 or $200 an hour doing that on my listing presentations, whatever, at 20 hours a week, I mean, the ROI that I save on my time by just investing in Brett and his company to do this for me, that's why I do it. Right. It's not the best use of my time, and price saves me. The small amount that I invest in him probably helps me go out there and create an extra 20, 30 grand a month in that revenue. So the ROI is just absolutely massive. So, and those that are watching, listen, we'll have links right below where you guys can click on those and have access to those. So we'll make it easy on you there. So going back to your business, dude, knowing everything that you know now today, if you could go back, the Brett today could go back to the Brett when you first started this journey and give yourself two pieces of advice that you feel would have just massively impacted your trajectory to success, what would those two pieces of advice look like?
So for me, and it'll probably sound cliche because you talk about it all the time in the Mastery Alumni, but it literally is fully committing. I was never, it took me a long time to fully commit to my business and to the success. So fully committing into what I want. And I even posted in the Mastery Alumni yesterday, I've fully committed into these other two businesses and left my real estate business behind a little bit. But I put on my calendar, Monday comes, I'm fully committing to all three. It's not one or the other. It's all at the same time, and fully committing to my success and not wanting to go back to, feeling how I felt. And the second thing that I would do, I had it on the top of my head, fully commit. And then, shit, I just had it, but I lost it.
Yeah, that's all right, dude. That's all right, brother. So, all right. So again, those that are watching, listen, we'll have those links right below where you can go check those out, see those. But Brett, as you know, dude, I created this podcast to give a space for other realtors, other entrepreneurs to come in here and listen to people that are actually doing it. None of this stuff is theory. I don't interview the people that interview the people, right? Like you go into Barnes and Noble, dude, 90% of the books out there are people that just study other people and write a freaking book about it, right?
Yep.
It's like, hey, I'm going to interview the people that are in the trenches at all different levels and talk to the people that are actually doing it. And so those that are here watching and listening are here because they want to go out there and create an amazing, epic life for themselves and their families and turn their lives around like you've been able to do. Do you have any last words of advice or inspiration like to leave them with so they can do exactly that?
Yeah, just master your craft. Master what it is that you want. I always, and it's another mentor of mine, but he talks about mastery versus overload. When I first started in my business, it was all overload. I wanted to learn everything. I figured out what it was: systems and processes.
Oh yeah.
Once I dialed those in,
my true love.
Yes, systems and processes. And I'm still, again, I'll be honest with you, I'm not 100%. I'm not as dialed in as you are, and I still struggle with that every single day. But until I did that, that's what made the biggest difference for sure. And I know you touch on that in your bootcamp a lot. But yeah, so master your craft. Mastery versus overload is huge, and not worrying about, okay, I don't know how. Yeah, take what you know with Facebook and start implementing it. The only way that you can become successful at Facebook ads is actually doing it and being consistent. I didn't run one ad here and one ad there. I ran multiple ads at multiple times until I figured it out. Yeah, I did pay for some coaching at a certain point, but in those coachings, I learned a couple things, but I knew most of the stuff that I was already being taught because I implemented it instead of just overthinking the process. So that's what I would do is just start mastering your craft, whether it's whatever it is in real estate or in business in general, and use that and master it and own it. And then you'll be successful for sure.
What portion of your success do you attribute to rocking GSD gear?
Listen, yeah. I know there's been some pictures that I've shared where it's not where I'm not.
Yeah, I'm on calling you. I'm like, you son of a bitch.
Yep, Chris was wearing it one day and it took the picture. And yeah, you know what? To be honest with you, I'm not gonna lie. This is I have 3 of these shirts and I probably wear them more than any other shirt I own.
Boom, love it. So a little shameless plug there.
That's it. Yeah, it's funny because I was in Nashville over the holiday, like New Year's Eve, and I don't know if you saw the picture. Brian was there, and actually I don't know if she sold, but it was a client of mine who's very big into like coaching and stuff like that, Megan, and she actually wanted one of the shirts, and I gave her your website to go on it. So there are people out there that are not followers of you that dig the shirt. So yeah, for me, I wear it all the time, and it just because it's a reminder of where I came from before starting following you and to where I'm headed. And it's all I did a post in the Mastery Alumni group and the GSD group. It literally does. Yeah, I put in the effort and the work, but you paved the way for me and helped me get to where I am. So I'm very gratefully thankful, very thankful to you and all you've done. So.
Yeah, it's been an honor, man. It's been dope watching your success, and I'm stoked to continue watching your success, man. It's some badass stuff. So those watching, listen, I know I end every podcast with this, but information without implementation truly is the start of delusion. Information is power, isn't power. It's taking that information, taking action on it that creates power in your world so you can go out there and create the life you know you want and deserve. And Brett shared so many amazing pieces of advice with you guys, but you have to take action on it to go out there and get the result that you want. So make sure that you're taking action. And Brett, truly appreciate you taking time out of a busy day to be here, man. It's been a lot of fun and been an honor, brother.
Absolutely. I appreciate you having me.
Yep, 100%. All right, you guys, we will see you next time.